In a hidden valley lay the village of Silverwood, a place of quiet charm. Its heart was the Starlight Spring, a pool whose waters shimmered with a soft, celestial light, a gift from a fallen star long ago. This light nurtured their crops and filled their homes with a gentle glow. One morning, the villagers awoke to a dreadful silence. The light was gone. The Starlight Spring was now just a pool of dark, still water. A creeping cold seeped into the air, and the vibrant leaves of the surrounding plants began to curl and fade. Fear, a stranger in Silverwood, had arrived. The village elders spoke in hushed, worried tones, but Leo's grandmother spoke of a legend, a wise, ancient man who lived in the jagged peaks overlooking the valley. "They say he keeps watch over the world's magic," she whispered. With a heart full of desperate hope, Leo decided he would find him. At dawn, with a small satchel of bread and cheese, Leo slipped out of the village. He followed a path that was more memory than trail, winding up into the ancient woods that guarded the mountain. The silence of the forest felt heavy, as if it too mourned the village's lost light. After a long journey, he found it, a tall, crooked tower that seemed to be woven from living rock and ancient trees. The door opened before he could knock. Inside, an old man with a beard like spun moonlight and eyes that held the depth of the night sky turned to him. "The balance is broken," Merlin said, his voice calm but grave. "I have been waiting for you, Leo." Merlin led Leo to a large, clear scrying pool in the center of his observatory. "Your spring did not die," he explained, swirling a hand over the water. Its heart was stolen. An image formed in the pool, a cloaked figure, moving like a shadow, plucking a fist-sized glowing crystal from the spring's depths. "The thief's magic has left a trail, a scar upon the land," Merlin said, his eyes narrowing. He raised his staff, and a map of the valley appeared, woven from light in the air. A faint, sickly purple line snaked away from the village. "We must follow it before the crystal's power is turned to a darker purpose." Their journey took them into a part of the forest Leo had always been warned away from. The trees here were twisted and gnarled, and the air was thick with an unsettling energy. Faint, glowing purple footprints, visible only to Merlin's sight, marked the path on the corrupted ground. The trail ended at the mouth of an abandoned mine, a dark scar in the mountainside. A low, unstable hum of energy emanated from within, making the pebbles at their feet tremble. "He is in there," Merlin stated, his grip tightening on his staff. "The crystal's power is growing unstable." Inside, a large cavern was lit by the frantic, pulsing light of the starlight crystal. A young man, Kale, stood before it, his arms outstretched, trying to control the torrent of energy flowing from it. He was gaunt and desperate, his face a mask of frustration and fear. "I just wanted to show them," Kale yelled, noticing Merlin and Leo. "Show the academy that rejected me. The villagers, they don't appreciate what they have. Such power should be used for great things." But the crystal flared violently, throwing him back. It was clear he had no control at all. "True power is not a weapon to be wielded, but a current to be guided," Merlin said, his voice echoing in the cavern. "You have not stolen a tool. You have captured a living light. It cannot be commanded, only understood. And now your pride threatens to destroy it, and you along with it." Leo stepped forward, his fear replaced by a surprising rush of pity. "That light, it wasn't for great things," he said, his voice small but clear. "It was for small things. It helped my grandmother's soup glow on dark nights. It made the flowers grow for the spring festival. It made us feel safe. It made us feel like a family." Kale stared at Leo, the boy's simple words striking him harder than any magical blast. He saw not a prize, but a home he had violated. I don't know how to stop it," he stammered, looking at the crystal, which was now glowing almost white-hot. The energy, it's too much. Then we will guide it together, Merlin announced. He struck the stone floor with his staff, and glowing lines instantly etched themselves into the rock, forming a complex, circular rune around the crystal. Kale, you will be the conduit. Leo, you will be the anchor. Merlin instructed Kale to place his hands on the crystal. Do not fight the energy, he commanded. Let it flow through you and into the rune. Kale gritted his teeth and obeyed. Raw power surged through him, making him cry out, but he held his ground. Leo, place your hand on Kale's shoulder, Merlin said. Think of your home. Think of the spring. Remind this light where it belongs. Leo did as he was told, closing his eyes and picturing the gentle, shimmering pool, pouring all his love for his home into his touch. A gentle, golden light flowed from Leo, calming the chaotic white energy. The torrent became a steady river, flowing through Kale, into the rune, and then harmlessly into the deep earth. The violent hum in the cavern softened into a peaceful, resonant chord. With a final, gentle pulse, the excess energy was gone. The crystal floated serenely in the air, its light now soft and welcoming. Kale collapsed to his knees, utterly spent but safe. Leo, also tired, gave him a small, reassuring pat on the shoulder. Merlin gently levitated the crystal into a protective satchel. He looked down at Kale, no longer a thief, but a humbled young man who had touched a power far beyond his understanding. A lesson learned, I hope, Merlin said, his voice softer now. Kale could only nod, ashamed. Their return to Silverwood was met with gasps. The villagers saw Leo, the legendary wizard, and the pale, nervous stranger between them. They gathered, their faces a mixture of relief at Leo's return and suspicion towards Kale. He made a mistake, Leo announced to the crowd, his voice ringing with confidence. But he helped bring the light back. Kale stepped forward. I can't undo what I did, he said quietly, but I would like to stay. To help, to use what I know to serve, not to take. Merlin walked to the dark spring. He took the crystal from his satchel and gently placed it back in the water. A brilliant, beautiful light erupted from the pool, spreading through the village like a sunrise. The withered plants straightened and bloomed in an instant, and a collective sigh of joy went through the crowd. That night, Silverwood held a celebration. Music played, and the starlight spring glowed more brightly than ever. In a quiet corner, Leo showed Kale how to weave a garland from the newly bloomed flowers, a simple act of creation, not of power. A small smile touched Kale's lips for the first time. From a hill overlooking the joyful scene, Merlin watched. He had seen empires rise and fall, but the truest magic was always this. A stolen light returned, a community healed, and a lost soul finding their way home, not through great power, but through a small act of kindness.